Yeah.
I've been preaching Jaden Daniels' sophomore slump since March, and we're seeing it come to fruition, and I love every minute of it, and I hope he has a 4-interception game against the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, hey, that's a good segue.
Well, here we are. Dallas Cowboys 2-3-1, as said, Week 7 versus the Washington Commanders, who are coming to AT&T Stadium with a 3-3 record. This is going to the winner is in second, and the loser is in third, I believe. Or the loser might maybe in fourth.
Yeah, you're right.
So here we go. All right, Cowboys PFF. They're 73.3 overall. That's 14th. 79.4 offense overall. Or offense, that's 5th. And 49.7 defense, 32nd. So there you go. 49.7. I mean, I can't even imagine if I saw that in a Madden team, for example. I'd be like, how are they in an NFL team? How are you playing?
49.7. That's red. That is red.
Yeah, you got to go to the hospital.
Oh, my God. That is so pathetic, man.
But let's just bring spirits up just a little bit. CeeDee Lamb may come back this Sunday. We'll see. And if he does, I'm sure he's going to ease himself into it. But I expect him to kind of, if he's playing, to get some catches. But we've had some really, really great games with George Pickens in his absence. And here's some next-gen stats to kind of just give you a little chub, okay? We've got 2.5 yard average yards after catch above expectation. So where he's catching the ball and what they expect him to get, he's 2.5 yards above that, and that's 5th. That's pretty damn good. He's got 87.5 yards per game. That's 4th in the NFL. And a real fun stat, 28 first down receptions, which is 3rd. That's 88% of his receptions. 28 out of 32 receptions are for first downs.
That's wild.
Who are you going to on first down, baby?
GP.
He's moving the chains, and that's something you need on an offense. And one thing I saw about George Pickens, just to piggyback on a little bit about these stats, is he's the only receiver in the NFL with 500 yards and over 5 receiving touchdowns now.
Yeah, and still on his pace for 17 TDs.
Every week it seems like he gets a touchdown, and I'm all for it. And are we going to see that diminish a little bit with CeeDee Lamb? I don't give a f- I hope it's a pick your poison if you decide to just cover CeeDee Lamb, or it might be the hot take right now is you're going to try to cover George Pickens, and then you're going to go to work with CeeDee Lamb. And that's what we fully expect to see from this offense. It's what we fully expected to see from week 1. And unfortunately, we have been robbed by that a little bit with CeeDee Lamb's injury. But I'm excited to see this because this could really elevate the already number 1 offense in the NFL. You're getting your best offensive player back. That isn't Dak Prescott. So I'm excited.
We mentioned a race to 30. You bring in Sedarius. Does that make 37 more like the number that is the floor that we're looking at?
Well, I'm still the 30 isn't necessarily like the end score. It's just whoever I think hits 30 first is going to win. So
right, but I mean so let's say we think the Cowboys
with CD
can
would
hit
actually
that.
be like it would lower the number because you're like if the Cowboys can get to 28 first, they're going to keep scoring. Right?
Okay.
So I think actually CD would bring the race number down instead of make it go up.
Sorry, I was looking at it as like CD would inflate the number a little bit more, but I see what you're saying.
But you know what I mean by inflating it. I think it brings it down because you're like if the Cowboys can hit this number by say the third quarter, say it's 26. They're gonna win, right?
Yeah.
And I said 30 before because the defense was so bad, but the defense is the defense, right? If the Cowboys get 30 points scored on them before they score 30 points, they're gonna lose no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's 37 or not. I think if someone puts up 30 points before the Cowboys can, it's game set match almost.
It's funny, as you were saying that, BPG says add blink twice if you're alive, because I don't think I've talked for like the last 10 minutes or so.
Okay, sorry.
You were fucking around with the image.
I was. I forget what I was actually going to bring up.
You're a little tense there, Johnny.
I am, dude.
You're a little tense
Nobody
Johnny.
knows how to get my shoulders, okay? I'd love a deep
Yeah, because you got the Bessie Neanderthal muscles that you just cannot dig into.
Low brow.
What I was going to say, yeah, you Cro-Magnon forehead motherfucker. The thing I was also going to say, just
Squinty-eyed son of a bitch.
Squinty-eyed son of a, you ass eyes. CeeDee Lamb comes back, I think George Pickens, on all honesty, it's not like he's getting 15 targets a game, right? So I think GP3 can still eat the way he's been eating. I think somebody like Jake Ferguson might maybe see a little bit more of a decline. We're not going to see him get 2 touchdowns a game.
And targets, perhaps.
And targets. So, like, I feel like George Pickens is still going to show up the way he has been because, if anything, his job's going to become a lot easier. I think CeeDee Lamb's going to eat because we saw him eat all last year when he was the one guy. So, as Anth already mentioned, adding CeeDee Lamb back into the mix is only going to elevate both of these guys. Now that Dak and GP3 have that kind of rhythm going, it's going to be interesting to see how CeeDee Lamb fits in. We saw the first few games, they were really force-feeding CeeDee Lamb. He had those drops. And then the next game, it was somewhat similar. But, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
He had 100 yards in his first 2 weeks, and then he got hurt against the Bears early on. So CeeDee Lamb in full games that he's played, 100 yards each game. Yeah, no touchdowns, though. I think he's 0 touchdowns on the season.
0 touchdowns? Crack if you got him,
son.
It was too small of a sample size to really extrapolate, but even if you cut it down to 75% in his next 2 weeks and kind of take that as the average moving forward, he was still on pace to very close to a 2,000-yard reception season with the 17 games. Because I think he had 222 yards, maybe give or take it in those first 2 games. But yeah, we don't count the Bears game because he basically was out of that right away. But yeah, no negative here. You bring CD in and George Pickens still, I'm assuming he's probably still going to average between 60 to 80 yards a game, even if CD's eating up the 120, 140 yards as the number one. I still think there's a lot of room for George Pickens here. And even more so, Dak's getting super comfortable with him. He's understanding how George Pickens likes to run his routes, where to put the ball. So much of that is like a basketball reference is like, who's the white Mamba? What was his name? Anyways, White Mamba. I don't know him from this clip, but he would figure out where to place the basketball for the guy to shoot it, because where the lines line up on the basketball in his fingers. Same thing with Dak here. He's just knowing this is where Pickens is going to receive the ball. And that one catch over top.
Yeah, when you high point that ball.
The clip that we had, he catches it over top, holds it like it's a freaking baseball, and then leaps the guy. Like,
the best post with Pickens is the one that's like, this guy's playing like he's drunk out there. Yeah. And he's just so wild and crazy.
Yeah, like it's butt mashing. But the coolest thing about this, guys, is a lot of Pickens' biggest plays have been after he's caught the ball. Like last week, he had that, like you said, he had that catch, then he ran, held it like a loaf of bread and jumped. And then his touchdown was just an easy slant. And then he ran. Same thing with the Green Bay touchdown. He caught the ball and then ran for a touchdown. So like, you're seeing these situations where if he's in one-on-one and he's going across the middle and they get him the ball, the catch is only a 5-yard catch and he's turning them into 30-yard plays. That's huge. Like that, and CeeDee Lamb's very similar. Like, to have two of those guys on the field, I can't wait. I just hope CD's healthy enough to jump right into it, and I'm stoked for it.
Yeah. This is why I want us to try and make a move right now. I don't want us to maybe give, like Alex said, 2 first rounds to only get a guy for 1 year. I want somebody to come in and help the offense that's clicking right now, because nothing's guaranteed next year. I don't want us to go ahead and use them all to just draft a bunch of young teams and we're building a team for 2028. Like, get out of here. Like, we have the number one offense right now. Let's get that defense down to the 27th defense and see how we cook. You know what I'm saying?
Plus you trade if you trade a first round pick from this year, it will free up cap space, because you have to keep cap space for your first round for all your picks. So that first and second round pick is eating up whatever, let's say 12 million for the first one, and the second one could be anywhere from 5 to 8 million, depending where Green Bay ends up or Cowboys end up, right? So you're looking at like 20 million wrapped up in those first round picks, which is not a negative, but that's where the money for re-signing George Pickens can come from if you're moving one of those picks for another player. Look, we're talking chess here. Yeah. We're not playing checkers, okay? All right, guys. Head to head. Anth, turnover battle. I added this for you.
Well, that's the Panthers.
Okay, well, I did fuck that up. That is supposed to say it says Panthers. Hang on, I'll do it right now.
Commanders.
Hang on. Poppy got it.
It's in real time. Commander Blue, but hey, don't worry about it. There it is. Look at that fucking whiz. Look at that Wiz Khalifa just going at it there, dog.
I got to do this though, unfortunately.
He's got to get the accent on it.
It's a little different. So there you go. Okay.
Click back. Yeah, you're clicking around there. Click J.
Okay.
There you go.
There. Cowboys. So the Cowboys are leading this record 79-47-2. That's the overall record. Nice to see Cowboys with a win. They go to 80. That's a nice round number. We want to see that. Cowboys have a -2 turnover differential. Commanders have a -3. Negligible. They both suck. They're not getting turnovers. Points scored per game for the Dallas Cowboys, 29.7. Like you said, Anth, very funny. That 30-point mark. It's like round up. It's right there.
It's right
there. Commanders, 26.3 points scored per game. That's 7th. Points against per game, again, very funny. 30.7, round up to 31. The number 30. The Dallas Cowboys are losing.
Race, dude.
And then on the Commander side, 21 points average per game. They're 13th. So Commanders, if I'm picking and choosing, I want the Commanders points scored a game and points against per game. That's it's just like a winning formula.
That it's a Dan Quinn led team. You know that defense is going to be good. Like that defense is going to be sound.
Well, that's the other thing too that's interesting about this game is Dan Quinn coming back. He was around the Cowboys when Schottenheimer was in the building, obviously. And what if Schottenheimer's going to go over there pre or post game and just be like, "Hey, we finally made it. Hey, buddy, we finally made it, buddy."
Big Dan. Hey, Big Dano. Hey. Big Danny. Big Danny Q.
Or he just does the Paul Rudd, look at us.
Yeah.
Would you look at us?
Would you look at us? Would you just look at us?
Look at us. Huh?
Look at us.
Some fast facts for these guys, for the Dallas Cowboys heading in to week 7. Well, actually, we're in week 7. It isn't tomorrow. I split them to offense, defense.
Which is fine.
I think it's just might help.
Fact blast it?
We'll just us fact blast it a little better.
Someone in the chat said, Double Star 88 said, "You remind me of Alan in Hangover with your nerd professor skills." And then
pretty sure he's autistic.
Stat J from Boots. Yeah, this is AJ's favorite part when he's going through all these numbers and stats.
Well, I don't know if you guys.
I love the interface. I really do. It's clean.
It's clean. I just want to show you things that I think are, well, we all kind of talk about these stats and then I go out and find them and bring them to this board. So EPA is expected points. Wait, what's EPA per play? It's points earned per play. Expected points earned per play. I don't know the actual thing. But anyways, Cowboys are very good at it on offense with a 0.16, meaning every play that they have, they're earning 0.16 plays. So every 10 plays, they're getting an earned point out of it.
Earned point average.
Yeah.
Is that what
whatever.
It is?
I don't know.
BPG saying over average, so I'm just wondering.
You know what? I'm just going to go and look at it.
Got to find out what it is now. So Cowboys. Oh, look at this. Some behind baseball.
Do it live. Sometimes you got to do it live. And we're fine that we don't take ourselves so seriously that if we don't know something, we're not. I mean, unless it's talking about Canadian Thanksgiving, we'll go.
Oh gosh.
We won't Google it, but
yeah, anything to do.
If it's to do with football, we will Google it.
Okay.
Expected points added per play.
Thank you, Adam. So expected points added per play.
BPG over average.
It's just a boiled down version of understanding how efficient an offense or defense is. For offense, you want higher. For defense, you want lower, into the negatives even. Offense, I'll tell you this, the highest is 0.18 for the Indianapolis Colts. So Cowboys are very good.
Danny Dimes.
On the defensive side of the ball, the lowest are the Denver Broncos, who have if they keep this pace, they might be one of the most historical defenses in NFL history with some of the stats that these guys have. But they are on negative 0.14. Okay? So that's what you want your defense to be. Well, Cowboys have a higher EPA per play for their defense at 0.18
Than their offense?
Which means if you're doing average plays per game and everyone's getting the same amount of time, which is kind of how football games really boil down to, really, at the end of the day, Cowboys are losing. They cannot beat their defense. The offense can't beat the defense. Suck it, Trebek. Now, here's another interesting stat. The Cowboys have a 2.8% sack rate, meaning Dak's only getting sacked 2.8% of the times that he drops back. That's ranked third. Dak's also only scrambling 2.4% of the time, which is ranked 28th. So, I'm not saying that the offensive line is great, but if you're just saying that the quarterback's only getting sacked, has the third best sack rate and is only rushing at a 28th ranked quarterback rush, I think the O-line's holding its own.
Yep.
Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, over 50 snaps. If there's, say, Dak Prescott drops back 50 times in a game.
Yeah.
Which is rare. He's only going to he's getting sacked one time.
One time, maybe two.
That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe two.
That's pretty good.
But he's also he's not scrambling, meaning he's sitting in the pocket and having the time to look and throw the football.
And he's
not getting sacked.
He could pocket.
He's getting protected.
MVP Prescott.
He's getting protected.
MVP Prescott.
Most valuable Prescott.
And the final offensive stat, which I think is important for us to look forward to, is the 2.5 red zone touchdowns per game. Not field goals, not points, touchdowns. And that's ranked 6th. And in 2024, it was 1.4 over the season, and that was ranked 27th. So major improvement there.
Remember at this time last year, around week 7, Dak Prescott was still playing. All we were talking about was how the offense wasn't scoring in the red zone.
Yes.
Yep.
It's all we were talking about, and it was a glaring issue, and they've seemed to have figured it out as of right now.
Well,
so
I think
keep that up.
I think the idea is we know who Aubrey is, but let's not use him as a crutch. He's there as a support. Go down and try to score, and then if you don't, okay, now we know we can bring in Aubrey. But sometimes it means you should take that 4th and 2 or that 3rd and 7, make a play instead of just running the ball for a couple yards and then kicking. And I think that's the difference that we're seeing with the Cowboys this season.
Yeah, I feel like Schottenheimer, the play calls that he's been doing, I mean, look at how we have, even when they actually went for it on 4th, when we thought they were just going to try to draw offside, we couldn't believe it that they actually went for it on 4th. Just because of how structured we are to how limp dick the Cowboys used to kind of call it, right?
They faked me out.
Yeah.
They faked me out right.
So Schottenheimer's trying to show up Dan Campbell who has the biggest balls. He's not there yet, but I like what Schotty's doing right now.
Also for the Cowboys,
except for not watermelons, and Schotty just has regular melons.
No, he has grapefruits.
That's it?
Well, grapefruits are pretty fucking big. Double two grapefruits. They're pretty fucking big.
That's swollen.
But I mean, sack up and get Eberflus out of there. That's what I say. But we'll see. I say it now, but I don't really mean it.
What's your option to replace them?
Exactly.
Me, I just want 2 healthy mandarins.
Mike McCarthy.
Christmas mandarins.
Christmas mandarins.
I think that's a good size.
I love Christmas mandarins.
But yeah, we went over the EPA for the Cowboys, just dreadful and killing any sort of benefit the offense gains, the defense is killing. Here's some other interesting facts. A 0.88 interception rate to this date, which is 27th rank. It was a 2.2% in 2024, which was 10th ranked, and a 2.9% in 2023, which was 4th ranked. That's what made the Cowboys defense a little scary. Was sure, we might let you run the ball, but if you try to throw it on us, we're going to take the ball away and, in Deron Bland's case, go and score a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you guys, those 2 years, you still had a lot of the same personnel.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing big has changed. Nothing is.
Yeah, there is.
Major has changed. Oh.
Look who the Chicago Bears have, and look at what their rank is right now for who has the most turnovers. The Chicago Bears.
Bears.
Look who's on their defense.
Well, I was going to say Eberflus is the biggest.
He is. Sorry. Eberflus is the biggest change, but I'm saying Al Harris. Is over in Chicago,
Adam.
and they're leading right now with the most takeaways.
Wow, that's a nice deep dive. Yeah, Al Harris, a guy that we were hoping was going to be the Cowboys' defensive coordinator.
You're right. Chicago Bears
check that because I want to make sure.
No, he is. He is.
No, I know he's there. I just don't know if they're leading.
They are. They are plus. Sure yeah, they are. They're leading by a significant amount. I think their takeaways are plus
Crazy.
8.
Yeah. So you look at that same personnel. Except for the coach. So when we talk about what's different, do coaches matter? Yeah, I mean, the scheme and how you're coaching your players absolutely matter.
In fairness, not saying like that stat. No, that stat's correct. But would it have mattered if Al Harris was on this team with Eberflus running the scheme? We don't know.
No, it would be Al. I mean, and this is what like Al Harris being the defensive coordinator probably could be different. But he couldn't get into that role. He had to leave. No, he could. They could have put him in as a defensive coordinator. Is he a defensive coordinator over in Chicago?
No, passing game coordinator.
Yeah,
but regardless, it's an interesting. It's the connection to the Cowboys, and I like it, and we're sticking to it, and that's the reason.
It's a deep dive.
Final stat here for the defense, and it really just goes to show you like the Cowboys fucking suck again. 6.2 opponent average yards per play. So meaning, obviously, every play that they are getting against them is an average of 6.2. Whether or not they're getting takeaways, it's the average. Or not takeaways, stops. And then last thing, 0.363 first downs a play. They're ranked 31st. So you need that to be under 1,000 times 3, right? So if it's 0.3, that's only a 900 on 3 plays, which means they only get 9 yards. They're always under. That's where you want your defense to be. They're punting or they're having to go for it on a 4th down, right? The Cowboys are giving up the first down on by the 3rd down. Like teams are able to get the first down on them in 3 downs. That's not even,
dude. Not even. They don't even need it most of the time. If 6.2 opponent average per play, they need 2 fucking plays to pick up a first down and change.
Yeah.
Right? Like, literally, if teams are just playing against the Dallas Cowboys, every second play they're picking up, on average, a first down.
The biggest thing is, like, if the Cowboys are so, like, limp. Like, we talked about McCarthy being a limp dick. The limp dick fucking defense right now. If we were, like, I don't mind them playing a safe defense scheme as long as we're not dead fucking last.
I would
like if we were like said 27, 25, like okay,
I'd sell my soul to go back to last year's defense.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's almost like we McCarthy was running a very bland, not Deron Bland, but a very bland offense. It just wasn't exciting. And our defense is what was getting us charged up. And now it's completely reversed. So
well, boys, some quick look here at the Washington Commanders. For what we're doing week over week, I'm just copying the same stats we looked at on our team because those will change a little bit as we go through the season, whatever is most relevant. And now we're just going to look at the comparison for the Washington Commanders. So I'll go through it really quick. On offense, EPA per play is 0.07. That's 9th. So it's a positive. 6.7% sack rate ranked 20th, and a 10.6% scramble rate ranked 4th. So it means you can sack against these guys, but also Jaden Daniels is going to be moving in the pocket a lot. He moves in the pocket the 4th most in the NFL. So if the Cowboys have a hard time maybe they can get the pressure in, but if they can't chase him down, he's going to get outside. He's going to get some big gains.
Well, it's going to be regardless, his defense is going to have a tough time against Washington.
Yeah.
It's not
like, have a hard time.
It's not like last year when we're like, oh, yeah, we fucking beat Washington. We beat Washington Commanders last year. That felt like a nice victory. This year, it's like, oh man, we're gonna have to scrape by to beat the fucking Commanders with the way our defense.
I don't think it's a scrape by. I disagree with you. I don't think it's going to be a scrape by. I think this offense can beat their defense. I just think the offense has to be really good. You don't think we're going to scrape by? You think this offense? If our offense can dunk on them with Cooper fucking Rush?
Do you not think that? I don't. I think that's what I'm saying. Our offense is going to be fine. Our defense is going to let up a lot of points still.
Yeah, but that's just every game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So scraping by would be 35-30 win or 27-21 win, or like it's going to be like the Commanders are going to put up points against us. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I consider a scrape by win? It was the New York Giants game.
Yeah. And you don't think that crack him if you got him?
Crack him if you got him. I think for me, if the Cowboys win any other game, it's just I'm just happy. A scrape by, like,
this is
maybe we just have different definitions of scrape by.
Look, the Panthers game, we could have scraped by and won that game. The Green Bay Packers, we almost scraped by and won that game. The New York Giants, we scraped by and won that game.
But is beating a team that's heavily favored a scrape by? I think that's a success if you beat them. No, yeah, if you beat the Packers were heavily favored. The Commanders are going to be heavily favored. If you beat them, fucking rights.
I'm all for us winning, and it's going to be it's a big thing for us to win. I don't mean like a for sure win. I'm just saying like it's going to be such a tight game that when we win, it's going to be by us scraping by to win. That's I don't know. Maybe we have different definitions of scrape by.
This is how I'm reading it. I'm reading your scraping by win is like based on how terrible the Dallas Cowboys defense is, and so like it's going to be a hard battle between any team. Also, I think the Commanders are a divisional team. So even if Commanders were 0-6 right now, and how the Cowboys play down to teams, and it's a divisional game, I'd still be looking for a rough one for the Dallas Cowboys coming up here. And you're absolutely right, though. What we went into to play the Panthers, that was not a scrape by win. That should have been a simple victory.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like if the Cowboys did win, it would have been a scrape by for sure. That's how I see it too. In the game that we had, Cowboys win 30-27, scrape by win, but they shouldn't. The vibe going into the game was like this should be a win for the Dallas Cowboys. Well, not a tough battle. Even if the Cowboys won the game against the Panthers, and Washington lost, I still think coming into Washington it doesn't matter. Like, this is going to be a tough game for the Cowboys to play. It's going to be a tough game for the Commanders as well. We know these teams. We know these fucking coaches.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be an interesting game. Cowboys, can I just say this?
Are you guys nervous?
Yeah, I am. I'm
no. We'll know how the Cowboys are going to win or lose if they go 3-and-out. They're going to lose in their first drive. They're going to lose the game.
I'm jumping through the TV if they go 3-and-out on their first drive.
If they get a first down, even if they don't score, then we have a chance of winning that game. But if they go 3-and-out, it's done. It's done.
We haven't even gotten near it yet, but like I feel better knowing that CeeDee Lamb and Tyler Booker have potential to be playing for this game. I think saving them to come back for a week 7 Commanders game is nice. They aren't rushing back, and honestly, if you need to hold them out for another week, hold them out for another week. I feel good about our offense. Like outside of like that weird drive in the fourth from the Panthers last week, the offense I've been very happy watching. It's exciting.
I just hope if CeeDee's playing, they open up with a CeeDee Lamb handoff.
Yes. Out to the right. No, where a linebacker can get on him.
Yeah, don't block the linebacker. Let him get a free shot at him. Yeah. Make sure his ankle gets rolled up underneath him.
First play, I want CeeDee going head on with a linebacker. If we can match that up, I'd love it.
Okay, let's get through these.
Okay.
It's funny. Then Kilo sees, oh my God, Lieutenant Dan returns. Lieutenant Dan ice cream. I won't put those back on the soundboard for Lieutenant Dan.
It would not be bad. I wouldn't hate it if you just brought it in for.
I know.
We should find. There's got to be a sound bite out there which is something mean to a Dan.
Yeah, you know what?
You Dan or something.
I'll find something.
There's got to be something.
I'll find something.
Daniel. Okay. Washington Commanders 1.8 red zone touchdowns per game. That's 16th, middle of the pack. On their defensive side of the ball, .03 EPA per play. That's ranked 22nd. So they're beatable. A .94 interception rate, which is 25th. And 5.7 opponent average yards per play, which is ranked 26th. And then a .312 first downs per play, which is ranked 13th. So Commanders coming in here with a fairly lower average defense coming up against the Dallas Cowboys number 1 ranked offense. I feel like Cowboys are going to be able to score comfortably in this game. The defense needs to win the turnover battle. That's it.
The craziest thing, like when you see the 5.7 opponent average and the .312 first down play, with those stats, I would have expected their average points on defense to be higher than it was, because they only give up 21 points a game, which is quite low.
Yeah, you know what?
So they must hold them in the red zone, because with like the 5.7 opponent average, like that's not very good at all.
I would say this, and it's very tight between the, say, I'm just throwing it out there, 9th team to 25th team.
Okay.
So the top 4 teams or 5 teams are significantly better, and the bottom 4 teams, including the Cowboys, are significantly worse. And
high 20s, low 30s.
Everyone in the middle is pretty close. I mean, we're talking about points of difference. But when you're adding up 50 to 75 plays a game, that's where the difference is made.
Right.
So, I mean, sometimes these games come down to an inch or a yard for a first down on a 3rd or 4th down play. Crack him if you got him.
Even if it's a limp dick.
But you know what I mean? Like that small difference. So the Cowboys can only get 9 yards and they have to punt. But the Washington Commanders average 9.6 yards, which means they're pushing for the first down. So they're going to get it. And that's the difference sometimes in these games.
That's what it is. Fuck you. Next slide. What we got here next?
No, that's it. I shortened the slides because I thought that our conversation was really good. And
that's a good amount of slides.